The trail of destruction from other wildfires burning on the Front Range is becoming clearer as people return home.
In the Alexander Mountain Fire's path, Sylvan Dale Ranch in Loveland. Denver 7's Colette Bordelon shares what it needs to get back in the saddle and support one of the nonprofits that calls the ranch home.
There's decades of history.
It's one of the oldest dude ranches in the West.
At Sylvan Dale Ranch.
Nature's home for all of us, ultimately.
Last week, a new chapter for the ranch.
It's pretty devastating.
As smoke from the Alexander Mountain Fire filled the sky.
You know, the smells here tend to be more about trees and grass and a little bit of water here and there, but to smell like the burned fire scar behind us, it's powerful.
Silas Binkley is with the Heart J Center, a nonprofit that's been operating at the ranch for the last decade.
They transferred almost 1,000 acres a few years ago of backcountry land to the Heart J Center, which is the land that I manage. And that's the land that has been lost in the fire this week.
He says over 950 acres were burned in the fire, including historical buildings in the backcountry. It's land they use to conduct retreats geared toward health and wellness.
More recently, we've been partnering with the Combat Recovery Foundation.
My business partner in 2019 very unexpectedly shot himself. I got frustrated.
Marshall Spring started the Combat Recovery Foundation.
I myself am a combat disabled veteran.
Plans for their next retreat in September are on pause as they work to find a new location after Cow Camp, which would have been their base, burned. It was built in the early 1900s.
There's a certain tragic poetry to the fact that the place we intended to use for retreats burnt. And now we're a part of watching that place and helping it to rise from the ashes.
Determined to help Sylvan Dale Ranch rebuild.
People just really willing to roll up their sleeves and get to work is really inspiring.
Making sure this place and the power it holds.
Being in nature, even by yourself, isn't isolated.
Is here for decades to come.
In Larimer County, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Combat Recovery Foundation has organized a GoFundMe account to raise money to restore the backcountry of Heart J Center at Sylvan Dale Ranch. We have a link to that fundraiser on Denver7.com.